Welcome to this special episode of Tales and Tatase, the Jollof Rice Masterclass. I heard that there was a jollof rice battle here some time ago, and it was Nigerian jollof against, I'm not sure what country it was, their jollof rice. And I heard the Nigerian jollof did not win. So what I'm here to do is to redeem our reputation. That's the first thing. To let you know, whatever you tasted could not have been Nigerian jollof rice. And I say that with all respect. So this that we're doing today will be your own masterpiece. You are going to find out some secrets. I already told Kushlin, you have Nigerian heritage, and Mario, I said, do not take my recipe and call it your country's recipe. Make sure. And Mario's promised that he will not do that. I had already said that Nigerian food is very flavorful. So the first thing we're going to do is actually the last thing we're going to cook, which is to marinate our sea bass. So Paddy is busy, so I'm not sure if Chef can help me get one sea bass to each person. And it's going to be a simple marinade, but you'll see that the flavor is going to come out really nicely. We're just going to use some crystals. So I learned by a very good chef from Portugal that when you're doing anything seafood, you use the whole crystal salts. So you don't use ground salts or whatever it is. So the whole crystal salts actually give seafood more flavor. So that's why I asked for this. But apparently you guys are fancy and have it all the time. But yeah, the whole crystal salt. Thank you very much. So I'll wait for everyone to get theirs, and then I'll start seasoning mine. So the first story that I'll read would be a story that gets people to laugh. It's called Ramming the Honda Door. Tell me when everyone has their sea bass, just so I stop trying. Okay, so do I read the story or? Yeah, let's read the story. See, you guys are here for the gossip. But anyway, as I said previously, we had parties often in our home. So I didn't say that previously, but it's previously in my book. But the biggest party of the year was usually my immediate senior brother's birthdays, Boxing Day. It was actually a perfect day for a party because whilst most people have spent Christmas Day celebrating with family, the 26th December is always a public holiday, so they are available for Faji. Faji is a term in Nigeria for party. There's an appendix at the back for these slangs that I use. So when you guys are going out on Friday, be like, I'm going to Faji, you know. So we always had a ram brought to ours the night before the party. This one time, one of our cars was parked close to where the ram was kept. Not really smart, but anyway. When the ram saw its reflection on the nicely waxed car doors, it got aggravated, thinking it was looking at another ram. Yeah, you know the end of the story. It charged towards the car with such rage that it cut the rope used to fasten it to the tree and head-butted its reflection. It dented the car so badly it made tiny piercings with its horns. The dents were all over the side of the car, so we imagined the ram will move back, see its other ram and be like, you're so daring, and go back and hit itself on the car. We were probably watching TV, as we would usually do in our house, or playing video games. You know, I don't know if anybody's old enough to know about Atari games and things like that then. I was listening to some correct Bedu. Bedu is good music. Another thing you will learn in the book. So the ram finally got tired, relaxed, and probably called a truce. I imagine the ram is like, you know what? You're a strong guy. You're a strong guy. And then the moral of the story is never let anyone call you a ram. So that is one of the stories from the book, and there's many more of those. But now that we have our sea bass, let's start. Our hands washed. Are we ready? Yeah. Fantastic. So let's just take a pinch of salt to taste on the sea bass. Yeah? Are you ready? Good. Some oregano. I believe, for those of you that are not really, yeah, you put the oregano in here. So it's the one with the bigger leaves. The oregano. How much? Just a little bit as well, just a little sprinkle. Tough is like, yeah, I know what it is. How much? So oregano. So after the salt crystals, we put the oregano. Yep. I want to know when everyone's done that. Again, this is my pot, so I use my hands, and they're washed and nice. There you see scotch bonnets and cayenne pepper. Please, if you're not into spicy food, stay away from them. I have no insurance for things like that, yeah? Okay, you can put some cayenne pepper if you want, and then white pepper. White pepper, just a sprinkle of the white pepper as well. And oil. So now the oil will help the seasonings you have put sit into the sea bass, yeah? So the oil will help that sit in. Now, I'm not wearing gloves, and what I like to do, I'll sort of pat this into my fish. Just sort of pat that into my fish, front, back, anywhere, pat that into my fish nicely. So just give it like a nice massage, fish is nice, and then we put that aside. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to blend our peppers. Now there's a tomato here, a fresh tomato. I use this fresh tomato as a garnish at the end. I don't know how much onions we have. I also like to leave a little bit of onion for a garnish. So I would say leave about a third of that. Now the remaining 2/3 of the onion, along with the bell peppers. Yeah, I would think so. I would hope so. But there's a bigger bowl under the rubbish bowl where we can do the blending, right? So put in there everything you want to blend. Just cut it in pieces so it's easier to blend. 2/3 of your onion, a bell pepper, the ginger. There's a little secret I have. So if you have a teaspoon around there, if you take a teaspoon and use that to blend to peel your ginger. That is actually really quick and easy. Just take a teaspoon and use that to peel your ginger. Okay, I have to make sure that I'm always, yep. Now, I would say because we're using hand blenders, I would also say chop your ginger as well to a small size, so it's easier to catch in the blender. Yep. We all know you smash the garlic with your knife. Take off the skin. Okay, yeah, so just because we're going to blend it. So just cut it in a way that you're able to blend easily. But remember, it's 2/3 of the onion because we're going to use another bit of the onion, the 1/3 of the onion for the garnish. Now, even my Nigerian grown self would not use a whole Scotch bonnet for this small pot of rice. So I would say another third of it if you're not really into spicy food. I'm going to use half, but then I like spicy food. So please be alive at the end of this thing and just take enough pepper that you need. Don't do too much. Yeah? So we're chopping the onions and the ginger just in a good size to blend easily. Let me know when we've done that, please. So yeah, I put all the garlic in. Okay, so you know what? Sorry, that's a good question. Just because we're chefs here, we can keep half of one garlic to put in the oil where we fry our sea bass. So just half of one garlic. We'll just throw it in for flavor. You can even put it away with the sea bass now. Just half of it so we don't. Thank you for asking, Toph. So we want our onions, our bell pepper. Oh, sorry, let me put it here so you can see. Onions, bell pepper, ginger, garlic, and whatever quantity of Scotch bonnet you're happy with if you want Scotch bonnet. Yeah? Is that everyone okay? We have all of that. Everyone good? Yeah, I can see some good students already done. What's that called? Bottom set and top set. All right, we're good? Okay. Now we're going to pour in the chopped tomatoes just to give it some liquidity so that when we're blending, you know, so chop that in. You can put a little water to rinse the bowl, just a little water to rinse the bowl and put that into all of this because we're going to blend it. Now those that are done can connect this and start blending. Again, we have to share, so bear with me. So because we're using a hand blender, you might find it difficult blending it easy. So maybe chop it smaller or add more water, but you don't want to put too much water, to be honest. Anyone finished blending theirs? Heiko, have you finished blending yours?
I blended mine, yeah.
Okay, so just put it in the pot so it's parboiling a little bit.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So we're going to put this in the pot so it's parboiling a little bit. So we're going to parboil it, yeah?
Yeah.
So, no oil, nothing. Just parboiling this for a second, yeah. So for anyone that's finished blending, please just pour it in the pot and it'll be parboiling. We're going to pour it back here. Or if you're waiting for the blend, you can also do this. We are going to cut our tomatoes in thin slices because we're using that to garnish. So if you look at the screens, if you look at the screens, you see these thin slices because they'll be used to garnish my jollof rice. Very thin slices like that, just round and thin like that for the tomatoes. While that is boiling, slice the tomatoes like that.
All right.
Yep. Thin slices of onions as well. So I saw someone do this just now, and I'm going to ask, so how many of us can eat raw tomatoes just like that, like an apple? Aha. Don't worry, I know why I asked. Some people are sampling it. Like cherry tomatoes. Yeah. Love it. All right, so you want to parboil that? Parboil the pepper mix.
Will it simmer or like properly boil?
So I don't mind if it properly boils.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's properly boil. So yeah, properly boil.
Yes.
And you've cut your tomatoes and onions. I love it. I'm happy. So let's just wait for the others to catch up. So once you finish blending, please remember we're parboiling it as well. So the parboiling is to take away the rawness of the taste and also to reduce the water content. Yeah. So we're trying to reduce the water content because we used a lot of water to blend it. So yeah. So for those of you who have your the blend boiling, you can stir it every now and then just so it doesn't burn or stick to the bottom of the pot. Again, like I said, if you see that it's thick, it's a thick consistency like pasty, bring it out, that's fine. You just pour it back into the blending bowl. Feel free to enjoy the aroma of what you're doing at every point. I can smell everything. The garlic, the ginger. Smells really nice. I discovered something recently. So you know how carrot has like a sweet taste? I used carrot and the sweet pointy bell peppers to make the blend. And the blended pepper itself was so delicious. So that's just something you can do to incorporate more vegetables into your cooking. Carrot, and it doesn't mess with the color because the carrots are orange, sweet pointy bell peppers are red, so it's fantastic. Okay, so I think the water has reduced a bit in mine. I'm not sure where everyone else is, but sort of this consistency. This sort of consistency here. So the water has reduced. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's no more smelling because, I mean, everyone here, for you to be here, you have an idea of what it means to cook. So when you're no more smelling the rawness of your blend and it's a thick consistency, put it back in the bowl for the pepper blend. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a test. Who remembers the word I said for party? Not you.
But he got it.
He got it. Faji. F-A-A-J-I. So when you guys are going out and then they're like, what are you doing, man? I'm going to Faji this Friday. So we call it Faji Friday. And it works. It blends. Still waiting. Okay, so I'm going to pour this out. I'll just go ahead and then guide after that. Thank you so much. So I've poured this out back into the bowl, making sure that it does not, we don't want to waste, yeah? Something I call a leftover ministry. We don't waste. We do not waste. So we're going to take this out of the pot. And then because we're going to fry next, rinse your bowl. So if you're ahead, just so that we don't crowd around the taps, please, if you're ahead and you've taken your pepper out, rinse your bowl because we don't want, you know, splatters. Just rinse your bowl or use a kitchen towel to wipe it, whatever you want to do. But yeah. And turn off your hob so you don't burn anything. Okay? That's for those of you that have finished. So please, how many of you have poured back into the bowls? Have you finished blending? I'm just going to come around to look at it really quickly. So can we increase this a little bit more just so that it'll dry up quicker? Okay. Yeah, I think this is, sorry. I think this is actually perfect.
It's good?
Yeah, thank you. That's yours. Perfect. Thank you. So you can just put it, okay, put it back in the bowl. Thank you. Let me see. Yeah, so this is boiled already, or you're just boiling it. Can you increase it a little bit? Even if the consistency is perfect, it's not going to take time because you didn't put too much water to blend it. So that's great. This is good. This is good. Yeah, I'm happy for it to be done. I'm so happy because no one is going to leave disappointed. I think the people that actually sign up for these sort of classes are people that already have idea about cooking. Because when I walked around, I actually saw some people that will give me a run for my money. Because I'm like, they better not come and look at my own pepper blend right now. So well done to everybody. Please, those of you that have done this, remember to clean your pots because we're going to fry. So just either you wipe your pot down, wash it, whatever you want to do, because we're going to fry after this. So the next step, while we're waiting, the next step would be to fry a little bit of onion to give the oil flavor. And what I do is I eyeball it. I put enough oil to cover the base of the pot, right? So for those of us that have our pots full, we can start doing that. Have our sliced onions, throw in a little bit into the oil. So just enough oil to cover the base of the pot should be fine. Again, like I said, we're healthy people here. Oh, I think. I'm going to put a little bit more. So turn yours up higher so that the water will do what? Ah, fantastic. Okay. We're not using all the sliced onions, guys, because we need for garnish. Bless you. Just about half of the quantity of the onion in the oil. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put my hand down for the screen. Yeah? Sorry, don't use everything. So it's not garnished the way you're thinking about it. I beg your pardon. So on top of the jollof rice, where we've done the mix at the end, and we are leaving it to steam and get cooked, I put a layer of tomato and onions on it. Because when you do the final stir in, it's really nice to just crunch onto it or taste it, but it's not raw. So please don't use all the onions, just a little bit. Please put the heat on low because I can hear Heiko already frying. Heiko is going to he's going to do a master class on jollof rice behind my back because he's moving really fast. So the onion in the oil, a little bit of thyme, like a third of a teaspoon of thyme. Yeah, a third of a teaspoon inside the oil. Now there's something called Patty Jollof in Lagos. And Patty Jollof has that firewood type flavor. Yeah? Part of what gives it that firewood flavor is this thyme, because the thyme are like tiny specks of wood. So inside the oil, you have this thyme there. When we put the thyme, the next thing we want to put is a bay leaf or two. Yeah, because it's a small pot, so I would say like 2 bay leaves inside the oil as well. Keep stirring so it doesn't burn. You should already be getting an aroma. Who is at my stage and who is still a bit behind? And tough, I can see. No, yeah, because I think that you will get it, so that's why I'm not waiting for you. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm not worried about you. So who is with me? Okay, that's fine. So we have our bay leaves in here. We're going to wait for our onions to get a little bit caramelized, just a little bit. And like I said, Keep stirring if you need to, just so it doesn't burn. But get it a bit caramelized. All good, Chef Dan. All good. I just want to say that I respect everybody that does stand-up comedy. Because I've not been here the length of a full show, and I'm running out of jokes. So, yeah.
I was going to say you had a lot of time on your hands when it goes.
When we are doing the... Yeah, so I'm going to read some more stories.
You had a lot of time on your hands?
Hey!
Thank you.
Hey! Give it up! Give it up! Give it up!
Thank you, thank you.
You know what? And you know a joke is good when it takes you about 5 seconds to get it. That was fantastic. I'm going to use it. Thank you. The next masterclass I do. So I'm going to, yeah, we've got a lot of time in our hands at the right time. That's a dad joke. Love it. Now we're going to put another 1/3 of a teaspoon of curry powder. It's the really yellowy looking one. I think we should just go with what we have now. Worst case scenario will be sweet, as long as it's not black. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, right now it's fine. So 1/3 of a teaspoon in. Stir that in quickly so it doesn't burn. And then while that is, you can reduce the heat if you feel like the need to. But while that is cooking, you can enjoy the aromas. We'll open this tomato puree. Now this tomato puree I bought from an African store. I feel it's the best tomato puree for jollof rice. Yeah? So let's open that. Again, we don't waste. Take your tiny teaspoon and scoop everything in. Now stir very well into the oil, guys. This should sort of blend with the oil to show you how much stirring you need to do. You know what I mean? Caramelize, even the puree. Hopefully the dishwasher is going to get that off. Now when that blends into the oil, we're going to pour in this blended paste here. Guys, here. Now, do we have any vegetarians in the house? You have, okay, yes. So pour that in and stir. Put this on low heat, so it's kind of cooking and blending in without burning. And then let's wash our rice. Now, because we're not parboiling the rice, please make sure you wash your rice very well. Wash your rice very well. Yeah, give it a good swirl. Keep washing until the water is as clear as you can get it to be. This is quite a minimal quantity of rice, so we don't want to waste any of the grains when we are pouring it out. Chef, do we have any more rice in case? Okay. I feel like we should add a little bit more rice for each person. Yeah, because the sauce is quite generous. Yeah, thank you. Please, our sauce, for those of us frying our sauce, it's on low heat. Are we sure it's on low heat? Okay, good. We can actually start adding our seasonings. Salt to taste. I'm putting a teaspoon, but salt to taste for yourself, please. A teaspoon of crystal salt might be, yeah. Now, the thing about jollof rice is when you make your sauce is a little bit saltier than you would normally eat. Because when the rice gets in, it's going to steal from the salt taste in your sauce. So when you taste your sauce now, it has to be a little bit saltier than, don't add, you're going to add some, what's it called now? These are Knorr chicken cubes as well for stock. So this will add a bit more salt. So don't add too much salt yet. So you are going to be doing it in stages. So there's this here, which is vegetarian, because I need you to enjoy the flavor as well. So please come and use some of this as well. So the stock cubes, you can start with one cube. So if you open your chicken cube, start with 1 cube and like I don't know, half a teaspoon of salt, and grow the salt content or the cube or the stock content to that slightly salty form of the sauce. Does everyone? So yeah, so that is on the table, but please feel free. There's so many here. Yeah, just take So there's 2 cubes in it. Start with half. Start with 1 cube and salt and taste it to see if it's salty enough for you. But you need to make sure it's a little bit salty.
So the paprika Oh, sorry, the pepper paste goes back into there?
Yeah, with the blend. Yeah, sorry, missed. Yeah, with the tomato puree blend, it goes back into there, and then you add salt and this. That's where I am. Yes. Okay. So I like my food very flavorful. I'm using 2 cubes. Please do not use two cubes yet. I'm just doing this because I kind of know what I'm expecting. But use 1 cube and some salt and taste to see first. Have you guys tasted your blend to see? How many of us have put the Knorr cubes in? And the salt? Is it slightly salty yet? Yeah, I need it slightly salty because the rice is going to steal from it, and because we are pros, we don't want to keep opening and putting salt, and you're messing with the time to get done. So it should be slightly salty. Oh yeah, Mario, you're liking it already. Yeah, that's fantastic. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put like a quarter or a third of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now nutmeg is the brown one. Like a little bit of the nutmeg, and then a generous sprinkle of white pepper. Now, for those of you that don't like chili, Zach, can you do white pepper at least? White pepper?
Is it spicy?
A little bit.
I think I'm gonna...
You skip it. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Now, leave it on low heat because we're going to jump back to the rice. Now that we have the right quantity of rice, please wash your rice properly. As our sauce is on low heat, guys, right? Because we don't want it to over caramelize. So Chef Andrew is going to come round with 2 sheets of foil paper, guys, okay? Because when we pour in our rice in the sauce, we'll put a little bit of water just to the level where the rice is, where the rice mix is, and then we'll cover with this before the plate. Yeah? So we can, for those of us that have washed our rice, we can stir in our rice now.
All of it?
All of it. All of it. All of it. All our rice goes in to our sauce. And you stir it into the sauce, yeah? Okay, so we've stirred in the rice. Stir in the rice to your sauce, guys. Stir it in. Make sure the sauce is evenly spread. We don't want any grains whiter than the other ones. Everything evenly spread. So, is the sauce evenly spread there? We're going to add a little bit of water just to the level where the rice is. So I'm going to do this and I'll carry it around or show you if you look on the screen. So I'm adding enough water as I stir just to cover the rice. So can everybody look here on the screen, I think? So you add enough water to cover the rice in the sauce. Just a quick note, so this golden cellar rice that we're using is my preferred rice for jollof rice. Is my preferred type of rice for jollof rice. And it cooks like basmati because it's a type of basmati rice. So if you put too much water, your rice is soggy. There's something they like to say in Nigeria. Every grain of rice must be fighting with the next one. You don't want them sticking together. So to have that, separated grain of rice beauty for jollof rice, you just put enough water to cover the pot, the rice. Who is at this stage? Who has put enough water and is ready for the next stage? Yep. Now take the double sheets. We're using double sheets just because it's a thinner type of foil. A thicker foil, 1 sheet is fine. And cover the pot. Yeah? So tuck it in like that. Tuck it in like that. So the rice cooks best on low to medium heat, so like a 5. But what I do is I start it off like a 6 or 7 just so it boils. And then I reduce it to like a 5. Because it's the steam that cooks jollof rice. Yeah? So you can start it off as a 7 now, just for now. Just until the rice boils. And once it's boiling, please reduce to a 5. Because if not, your grains will not be done. Thank you. Hello.
What heat do you have it on?
Yep. How do you know when it's boiling? Yeah, so for me, I would usually like no because I'm using a normal stove. So for this, I'm literally stylishly checking with this and trying to listen out. Maybe take off the plate and just try and listen out. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I think mine is boiling. I can feel a little vibration that mine is boiling. So if you feel your pot is vibrating like slightly, there's a little vibration that mine is boiling. So a little vibration. So I'm going to take mine back to 5 now. Between 5 and 6, I think, yeah. I can feel this cooking really well. I don't want us to open it because when you open it, you let out some steam and that reduces the cooking time. See those 2 guys at the back, you know, so do you have names of naughty students in your class when you were growing up? Eh? I think he's the one influencing you. It's not actually you. He's the influence. I know. So yes, those naughty students. And then the good ones too. I can see my good ones, but those ones are the ones at the back of the class. That frustrate the teacher, but I love you guys. You guys are amazing, honestly. I'm giving it. So we can start with the sea bass. The problem with doing our sea bass now is I want you to lay it by your plate so you can have something pretty. I'm scared that you might like the taste and start eating it before the rice is ready. But if you're happy to start making your sea bass, please let me see your hands. Let's start then. One of the nice things about frying with butter is butter dissipates really quickly, evaporates, can burn easily. So I use a clear oil as a base for butter. And I heat up the clear oil before adding my butter. So we have 2 slices of butter here. The next time we open our jollof rice, we're going to be adding our sliced tomatoes. Not too much. The tomatoes are really massive. So just a few sliced tomatoes and the onions. And we'll be adding a slice of butter as well. So we're going to use 1 slice of butter for this. But start with your clear oil. So oil your pans. Yeah. I should have asked, actually. Is anyone beginning to get a whiff of the aroma of their jollof rice? I know it's quite tight in there, but I'm getting a whiff of mine, and I just don't want mine to be sweeter than everyone else's. Yeah? I want everybody to enjoy theirs. No one's getting a whiff? If you're not getting a whiff, I think it's because you've sealed your pots very well. So that's fine. So I've put the garlic in the oil. Some of you have put the sea bass already. Your sea bass and your butter going at the same time. So who here knows how to plate food very nicely? So what we would usually do is you would take, like, you know, the measuring cups, like 1 cup, those measuring cups. You can use like a little bit of butter or oil. Stack it with enough rice. Put it on the plate, lift it up, and then it gives you the shape of the measuring cup. So for those of us that don't mind showing, I would like you to do that at the end so that your plate looks very pretty, you know, and all of that. Yeah? Yeah. Sorry, I think you should use a spatula instead of that so you don't break your fish. Let's see whose fish is going to break. So who has, while we're waiting, who has a funny experience with cooking that they want to share? I've given you guys 3 experiences. Surely you guys cannot have had it good every time. Who are these people? You don't cook enough then. Now, if you smell like if your rice smells like it's beginning to burn, just reduce the heat a bit more. If it smells like it's beginning to burn. If you have the time to do so, take off your plate and let's check what's going on with the rice. Please be careful, plate is hot. Foil paper, this foil paper doesn't conduct that much heat, but you might touch the pot. So,
sorry, just really quickly,
yeah.
the wrong tea towel for the...
Oh, fantastic, okay. Yeah. Sorry, you know, my Nigerian, so I'm used to using my hand, yeah. Tea towels for taking off your plate and stuff, so you don't... Please be careful.
Does anyone need one?
Now, do not cut your foil because you'll cover it back with the foil paper. Okay, so just gently untuck and let's check our rice on the low heat. Yep. Is everyone's looking sort of like this? So it should be a little bit, the water content should have gone down a lot, but it's still kind of moist. Yeah? Water content gone down, still kind of moist, rice not completely done. Yeah, we're going to stir in the rice. Stirring the rice. Have we stirred our rice? I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to walk around to see. Put it on low heat. I still want you to get the effect with the onions and tomato. Can I see yours? Do you mind?
Yeah. I think it's not 100% ready yet. But you
Yeah.
can go.
So what I want to, it's not. It shouldn't be perfect. So this is almost there.
Yeah.
Can you add a little bit more water?
Yeah.
A little bit more water, and then onions and tomato, just a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. Not ready yet? Can I see yours, please?
Please.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Can I have this?
Yes.
Thank you. So I think this is all right. Okay, but the rice feels a little bit hard as I'm turning it. So can you get a little bit more water? Not so much. And then you put the onions, tomato, and just cover it. And the butter. Yeah. So for those of you who tasted your rice and you feel your rice is pretty much done, please don't add too much water. Just leave it to steam on low heat. Yeah? All right, guys, so I know some of you need to leave, but the rice might not be ready completely. So please give it another 10 minutes. Now, if you smell the rice like burning, do not be alarmed, because part of what gives rice that smoky flavor is in the last 30 seconds, when my rice is cooked, in the last 30 seconds, I crank up the heat to high. You literally, yeah, I'm not saying you should do that here. Do that at home, okay? Do that at home on your own. So I crank up the heat to high, and then I literally smell like the barbecue-ness of it. Turn it off. I don't open the pot for another 3 minutes so that that barbecue smell goes into every grain and you have that patty jollof. So that's the secret to patty jollof. I'm happy that we have one very happy student who has finished hers and she can really enjoy. She said it tastes good. So I'm very happy. I'm really happy. Please take it with your sea bass and enjoy lunch. This was such a fulfilling day. We had almost 16 of the students in the masterclass and everybody's jollof rice was banging. Thank you. Thank you, Chef Dan. Yay!
Thank you very much.
Yay!
Yes. Amazing.
Thank
Amazing.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I taste?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Make sure you buy my book on Amazon. And the show is also called Tales and Tatase. Chef Dan, tell them to go subscribe.
Go subscribe. It's amazing. Amazing stories, amazing recipes. Please do check it out.
Yay! He started his rap career now. All right. So